Hi my friends, I'm back. We're doing another recipe video today. It's gonna be just a basic meat sauce for like spaghetti or spiraled zucchini or anything, any kind of like pasta meat sauce. Anyway, it's gonna be a 3-ingredient recipe. There's only spinach, 90% beef, and my no sugar added Prego in it, and that's it. So the first thing that you have to know here is that we assume you already know how to create custom entries in this app, My Macros Plus. So if you don't know how to create custom entries, then go watch the videos on how to create a custom entry, because I will just go ahead and be using items out of my customs and faves for this video, and that is how all my recipe videos are. We assume that you have already done that. Anyway, now that you've seen everything I've eaten today. All right, so let's start with just looking at my whiteboard. These are the 3 ingredients. I've already pre-cut and weighed my spinach. I already weighed my beef, and I'm making up a number for my sauce. I don't know how much I'm using yet, so I'm just gonna put that as how much I'm gonna use. So if you look over here, I've got the meat, the spinach, and the sauce, all 3. So they're all ready to go. So My Macros Plus, if you click the top left section where the little 3 bars are, I call that a hamburger. Click that. Remember, all these items need to be in your customs and faves already, so if they're not there, stop and go add them. So the first thing is click recipes, then create new recipe. This is just going to be meat, pasta meat sauce. I'm just making up a name. Right now, I'm just going to leave it as 1 serving. I'm going to just leave that alone. We'll come back to that after. I'm just going to add my ingredients now in the ingredients section where it says add an ingredient. Click that. Then at the top where it defaults to food search, click the customs and faves next to it, because we aren't going to go searching, because you know that the entries that are out there in the search are usually not reliable. Customs and faves, so I've got my 3 ingredients. I got 90%. These are both the same, so that one, you'll notice it has a check mark next to it now, and then you're good. So back in the search bar, I'm going to click the X, search for spinach. Whoop. Look at that, I don't have an item in my customs and faves. Well, I'll show you how to go add that too. We can use the Macros Inc. branded items for this thing, for this one. This is spinach, very common item. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and add my no sugar added Prego. So Prego, no sugar added. I got a check mark, so I'm good. I'm going to close this and then hit the top on the top left, to the left of where it says search food. There's a little arrow. Click that. It'll take you back. All right, so I'm just going to save this as is because I ran into a little problem. I didn't do what I told you all to do, which was to add spinach to my customs and faves. So I'm going to go out. So the recipe that I've got so far is saved. Now I'm going to go out to by brand, and at the very top there's Macros Inc. And then you can jostle the screen here to bring up the search for spinach, and it's right here, veg-spinach. And I'm going to put a star on it, and that will put it in my customs and faves for me. So I'm going to back out of here, cancel, back out. Now back to recipes. Now I'm looking for my recipe that I was just creating. I think I called it pasta meat sauce. All right, I'm going to click the pen and paper icon, which is right to the left of the star on the right, top right, pen and paper. All right, so now I need to add my other ingredient. So I'm going to add another ingredient. And remember, it defaults to food search, so you want to change that to customs and faves. Then type spinach. There we go. Check mark. Okay, now back out again. You have all 3 ingredients. Now we need to add how much of which ingredient in the raw state that we need to put. So as on my board here, I'm noting what's on my board: 274 grams of spinach, 690 of beef, and then I'm saying I'm gonna go ahead and start with 180 on the sauce. All right, so I've got a good recipe here. Update. Now this is the recipe as it is in its entire state. One serving is showing is because I did not change that serving line in the edit. So this whole dish together is 1,341 calories, 149 protein, 23 carbs, 72 fat. Not bad. Huh? If you use 93% beef, it would lower the fat just a bit. So just keep that in mind. I like to use 90 or 93, 96, sometimes 96. Anyway, so that's the whole thing. Now what will happen is I'm going to go ahead and cook all this. I'm just going to put it in a pan, cook the meat, drain the oil out of the meat or whatever, and then add in the spinach, cook it down, and then add the sauce. And then afterwards I'm going to weigh the entire thing. All right, so I'll be back. Okay, we're back. So here's the cooked meat sauce. And I ended up changing from 180 grams of sauce to 225. So I'll show you how to edit that, and we're gonna weigh the after product here, and then show you what to do with the serving. So first, I'm just going to set the phone down right quick while I pour this. Just gonna use something to hold my phone up. Just gonna pour it in here to this and weigh the after product in its entirety. You can, some people I've seen put like a metal bowl on top of the scale upside down and then put the pan on top of it so it doesn't, kill the scale, but I just put it into the bowl that I'm gonna store it in. That's just me. Okay, 929. So we get 929 grams total. So this is what we're gonna use for quote servings. Okay, so back to my Macros Plus, back to my pasta meat sauce. First thing I need to do is change the no sugar added Prego from 180 to 225. So I'll show you what I did. Click on the pen and paper, which is to the left of the star, and then go down to your Prego no sugar added. Just click on it and it will pop up a window, and you can click and enter what you use instead. That changes the whole recipe, so we're done with that. And then for the servings, instead of using servings, I'm just gonna put the 927 grams. This is how much it weighs, so I'm just bear with me, 927. And then for the serving name, I'm gonna just change this to grams. So just delete it, backspace, change it to grams, and then done, and then update. So now what happens is, if I wanted to log this, say I'm gonna have this for lunch. It's very true. First, I'm gonna change this to lunch, and then if I want to have 120 grams of it, that is the calories and macros for 120. If I decided I wanted to have 145, I just enter 145. This is why this is how recipes can be so simple. Once you figure out how to enter them, and then you put the cooked weight in as the servings and change the serving name to grams, then you're just working with the weight of the cooked version of what you made. And then all your ingredients are still here. They're all right. They're saved in here as their raw input. So 225 no sugar added Prego, 90-10 ground beef, 690 grams, spinach 274. All that weighs 927 after it's cooked. So hopefully this makes sense. It is, just practice it. It's the only way to kind of learn. So just give it a shot. Put a couple things together in a recipe, and then put the cooked weight into the servings, and then change serving name to grams. All right, that's it.